Nexxlegacy.
Hey, I think I got the homie. Is this my homie Caz from BlackHand?
What's up? What's up?
What up, man?
Yeah,
What it is?
what's
What
good?
it is?
What's good? You know what it is? BlackHand's the label, BlackHand's the gang.
That's what it is,
What's
man.
poppin'? Yeah.
What are you
Hey,
getting?
first off, man, I want to say welcome to the show, Toss It Up Tuesday, Vintage Music Radio, Mystery Fam, Entertainment up in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? I want to first off say thanks for coming in, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying, just, you know what I'm saying, we got some listeners up in this motherfucker, so let the masses know who you be, son.
Yeah, I'm Caz, the CNC, Commander-in-Chief and CEO of BlackHand Entertainment, headquartered in New York City. You know what I mean? Home of Graf, Prince, Foxy Brown, and the BlackHand Chain Gang.
Haha. That's good. Go ahead, Meg. Do what you do, son.
Yeah, man. So, Chad, I mean, for the people who don't know, let them know a little bit about BlackHand, man. How it came about, when y'all officially started, what y'all doing right now, any very big releases coming out. I know y'all got something going on with a movie. I mean, let them know, man. Let them know for the few people. We got thousands of listeners here. For the few that, we out in the Bay, we out in L.A. For those that may not be familiar, let them know.
Yeah, well, BlackHand started, man, back in the 70s in the prison system. And, it evolved out into the street. And once I was released from prison, I served 15 years myself in prison. Once I was released, I came out and got into the promotion business. And to make a long story short, it evolved into, a record company's studio. We did a compilation early on called Black Gangster. It featured Jay-Z, Ja Rule, DMX, 50 Cent. It probably was the only records you ever saw. Well, you had 50 and Ja Rule on the same record that they both knew they were on. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, we had, then I was, at that time, I was co-managing 50 Cent. And later acquired, management Foxy Brown and the artist Graf and Prince. And we've been around a minute. BlackHand's been around, like the logo. If you ever seen the logo, it's a black hand extended from a rock. And the 5 fingers of BlackHand stand for the different regions of the country, and the palm is unity. The 5 fingers stand for North, East, South, West, and the Midwest. And it's symbolic, breaking through the rock, meaning that we don't let nothing stop us, you know what I mean? And we here. Yeah.
That's what it is, man. So, has it always been an independent movement, or because I know you guys had some history over with Sony? I mean, let the people know exactly how all that came about and where you are right now.
Yeah, well, we've always been an independent movement. That's just our history, and we had distribution situations with Warner. WEA actually at that time it was WEA. Warner Electric Atlantic, and thereafter we had another distribution situation with Sony, and we had another distribution situation with Dame Dash at Def Jam,
right?
And then we had the current situation we have now, which is an independent distribution situation with Koch Records.
Okay, and is that where you're trying to be right now? Because I mean, do you feel like the major labels they're really not going to provide anything for you, or what's the reason for that?
Well, what I found out, like all along, we always had to do our own thing, grow our own grind, get our own record started, do our own thing in the street. Like I said, the first record I did, ever was that compilation. And, basically we came out of pocket for promotion, did our own retail, marketing. We just handled our whole campaign ourselves. So we were kind of, versed in, getting ourselves started and moving on our own. So with the majors, basically, when we, partnered up with some of the majors later on, they were supposed to provide, certain support and stuff like that, specifically Sony. And what it is that, what we found was that we were still having to do the same things we did.
Except we were getting less back.
Yeah, right. We was getting, basically less money, on our records. So,
it didn't make sense at that point.
Yeah, and as time moved on and the record labels started cutting more back and back on, marketing support, and, their budgets started getting tighter and tighter, they still was taking, most of the pie for themselves, although they was putting out less. So we just found that it's our time as independents to, go for the bigger piece of the pie because we're doing the same work. We start our own records. We travel all over the country. We do a lot of our own, street marketing. And so basically we putting in that work, so we figured that we might as well get that reward, So
right.
and right now, because of the digital onslaught, it's like, wide open right now. It's an independent market. You know what I mean? So, like the labels are basically getting ready to become the middlemen, and, who needs middlemen?
Exactly. So you feel pretty much at this point, it's almost like unless the label really comes through on that part, it's like you do the same amount of work for less money, so why go through them at this point? I think
right.
That's something that most artists don't understand. Most artists still have that dream, let me sign a Sony, let me sign to Atlantic, and I don't think they realize what it takes to get on there, and two, that their camp is still going to have to do most of the work anyway.
Definitely. You just look at the numbers and say, I hate to put anybody on the spot, but if you look at
if you got to put somebody Chaz, do it up.
For real, exactly.
If you look at just some recent sales statistics, like take Beanie Siegel. He did something like his first week. He's on a major. He's on Def Jam. They're for Universal. They got
right.
Jay-Z and et cetera, et cetera. And he came out and did like 48,000 records his first week.
Yeah.
Did 30-something thousand his first week with the same thing plugged into the same system. You know what I mean? And DJ Khaled, he did 80,000 his first week, and he's with an independent. You know what I'm saying? Like both Beanie Siegel and Freeway with Baby, that same that same week that Beanie came out, DJ Khaled came out, and he did 80,000 on an independent. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's not really making sense. And then the ringtone situation between, like say what happens as an independent. Once you get your record at radio and it starts pumping, and what you get for a major is the same. I mean, you're going to get a million ringtones, whether it's, you with the major or whether you with the independent. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you're just going to get most of that revenue. You know what I mean? You're going to keep it. So, if you look at the numbers, it just makes more sense to be independent. Now, granted, once you do all the work yourself, as far as the branding part, the majors can help brand you. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, when they putting out the money to brand you, that's recoupable. So you still don't see money. You can sell 1 million records and still come out of that situation with the only thing you ever got out of it was your advance. And now the labels are doing what they call 360 deals, right?
Where they get a percentage of your touring and your merch and
everything. Of everything, you know what I'm saying? So they taking more and putting out less. So, I mean, it doesn't really make sense, you know what I mean?
See, and that's the major problem I have with what's going on with major labels is 360 deals are good and make sense if the label does what they're supposed to do and puts out the money they're supposed to do and doesn't recoup, you know what I mean? They give you a good deal. But if they're going to take a percentage of everything I'm doing and I'm doing it independently anyways, why would I give them a piece of my merchandise and touring? I just don't.
What's gonna be the benefit from that if by them taking that percentage and shit like that? You know what I'm saying?
So it doesn't make any sense.
Well, what it is, I'm just saying that if you notice that they're not doing any more of what they did before.
Exactly.
And they're taking a bigger cut of your money. You know what I'm saying? And only because this is the only reason that they're doing that now is because the physical CD sales are down. Mm-hmm. So they're just trying to make up that money that they usually make in other areas. You know what I'm saying? Which is where in the past the artist really, was his bread and butter. That's how he lived, you know what I mean? Because the labels always was recouping big on the money that they put out for, marketing, promotion, manufacturing, and distribution,
Right.
And so now that they can't realize that profit on the physical CD sale, they make that money up elsewhere and going into the artist's pocket. So now, and again, when a major gets an artist, basically, especially in rap, you definitely, have to start your own record. I mean, it's just when you get signed to a major, that's just the beginning. A lot of artists make the mistake and feel that, they've made it. And I mean, understandably so, to some degree, to get signed to a major with as much talent as it is out there is a pretty big feat. But
right.
The artist just got to realize that's not just the end of it. You're not on yet. It's just the beginning. And
right.
It's a lot of work ahead of you. And in fact, the label will sit there and take Kanye West's situation, right? Kanye West, when he came out with that record, Through the Wire, Kanye West had to come out of pocket and do that. Did you see that video? He shot that was out of pocket. That wasn't no major label money that went to that video. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't believe in Kanye. Dame Dash believed in Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye believed in himself. And he pushed that record before the label finally jumped in later on, and now they reap a lot of benefits from him from his record sales. But a lot of times you got to come out there and go in your pocket, and I say if you got to do all that, especially now, with
right.
the 360 deals, if you have to do all that, then why get in bed with a major? You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? When you can do it yourself.
Exactly. Toss It Up Tuesday, BlackHand Tuesday. This is Branded B.I.G. with the homie K-Mex. We got Caz from BlackHand Entertainment, and you know what I'm saying. I got a few email questions and shit like that too, and stuff like that. But I'm gonna bang out a question because one of these questions is kind of real important as far as how the state of the game is and shit like that. But I'm gonna bang a track, and it's called Hater. You know what I mean? BlackHand is definitely in the motherfucking house right about now. Yeah, no doubt one of my favorite tracks. You know what I mean? Branded up in this motherfucking Toss It Up Tuesday. This is the BlackHand edition. Got K-Mex on the side tonight. Also, I got Caz from BlackHand Entertainment. That song's banging, homie. Banging.
Yeah, that's one of the newer additions to the BlackHand family. That's Nat. He's a fire,
That's definitely banging. That's been my favorite. As soon as I got that shit, man, that's been banging in my ride ever since I got that track, homie. That's just banging for real. You know what I mean? Definitely in the motherfucking house, man. Hey, I had hella email questions, but I had hella people ask me questions about Foxy Brown. But one of these, I think that's kind of important and shit that I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that needs to be addressed. It's just the state of the game as far as hip hop. I know we all talked about, you know what I'm saying, just how the shit's, the business part of the, part of the game, but as far as the fans, because I remember, I'm not sure if you know this, homie, but, there was one particular artist, I forgot the name, that pretty much just, told his fans, you know what I'm saying, that he was kind of pissed off at the sales and how it was, how he was selling the first week and shit like that, right? So with, you know what I'm saying, I fucking forgot the name of the artist, but he was just not happy. He publicly just dissed the fans and shit because they didn't go out there and buy his shit. And, at the end of the day, one of the questions a homie brought up online, and one of the questions that I was kind of feeling too, was like, with the state of hip hop and the state of, just in general with the fans, as far as them being fickle, not being fickle per se, as far as, I'm saying, well, I'm not going to buy his shit because he's not mainstream, but at the same time, you got that same fan that's not gonna buy it if it's not from Jay-Z's camp, or if it's not from Diddy's camp or whatever else and shit like that. And, you know, us underground motherfuckers gotta, you know what I'm saying, we gotta scratch and claw even harder. So the question is, you know, with the way the fans go out and buy shit nowadays as far as the market, I mean, how do you feel about the, you know, the inconsistencies that us fans have with the music as far as buying real shit versus the watered down shit?
Well, what I feel is that, you know, that the artist or his team, you know, and this is what we do. You know, you gotta find a way to build, you know, an affinity, you know, a connection with the fan. You know what I mean? With your music
Right.
and the fan, with what you're bringing in the fan. That's why we do our marketing techniques is really grassroots. You know, we take it back to, you know, like, for me, it's like it's beginning to be the time when you're dealing with the majors, almost like back in the day, like when Berry Gordy, when that was coming up, when, you know, there was a racial issue at that time, and basically, if you know, a black person couldn't get a record played at radio, you know what I'm saying? Like, they would not play black music at radio. So Berry Gordy had to figure out a way to, you know, to build Motown. And he said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to, you know, get the bus, you know, do the Motown review. We're going to hit the Chitlin circuit. We're going to get on the road, and we're going to go to the fans. We're going to take our music to the fans, you know what I mean, and go from town to town and build that demand. Another person that turned around and did the same thing many years later after being blackballed was 50 Cent. He couldn't get a record deal, you know what I mean? So what he did, he took his music to the streets, and he built his fan base from the ground up. You know, you just got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you know, you have to figure out a way to build an affinity to the fans, to build that connection to the fans, to make them want to be a part of your movement, a part of your music, a part of what you do. You know, and what happened is that the labels, the majors, got artists kind of lazy, especially in the New York area. You know, I mean, it was like, you know, in order to get your music out, you know, all you had to do was go down there. Well, every record label was right in the city. You know, Sony, you know, Def Jam, Interscope, you name it, Jive. It's here, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of artists figure all I got to do is get a demo to somebody, you know, and that's what it was. When that was not working, you know, then the artist was basically lost in how to get the fans interested and get the fans feeling them as artists and feeling their music. So if the fans have lackluster feelings about an artist, it's not the fans' fault. You got to make them in. You got to find a way. You got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? As an artist, as a label, you got to figure out how to get your music to the people. You know what I mean? And make them feel you. You know,
that's the way I see it too, homie. Yeah, that's the way I see it too, man. Just for the simple fact that, I mean, now it's a new day and age. It for damn sure ain't back. It like way back in the day when, you know what I'm saying, Motown was popping, and, you know, the demos made, you know, the demos now back then made, you know, it was what made your career. Now everything is digitalized and shit like that, where it's just like you got to be able to touch the fans. You got to be able to have a connection to your circle of people, your consistent fans, and try to win over some people that's you know, that may not know you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of you trying to touch up the place, because, I mean, right now, I mean, you know, I could go sell, you know what I'm saying, or I could, like, have, you know what I'm saying, dreams of selling like 300 my first week, you know what I'm saying, and get disappointed that I only sold 100, and then I can't turn on the fans, because then you got to look at yourself and be like, well, maybe it's something that I need to do to connect to the fans that's going, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be able to get my sales popping, you know what I mean?
Right. You know who did, two people that did, like, came out, Life Jennings is one of them. He came out, I think his first week was 5,000 records on his first album. And he, you know, Life Jennings is a performer, right? So, you know, he plays the guitar and he, you know, does the R&B thing. And Life Jennings went on the road. You know, he stayed on the road, and eventually his album went platinum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It started off with 5,000 and went platinum. Jill Scott, the same thing. I think her first week was like 8,000. Her first album. She's a performer, so she took her show to the people, and her album eventually sold 2 million copies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you notice that a lot of times that the rock and roll artists and the country western artists still break those big numbers.
Right.
You know, because they are performers. They are musicians. They're in the little clubs. They're in the theaters. They wherever, and they're performing. They're touring all year long. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're taking their music to their people. You know, and that's what you got to do. You got to figure it out. You know, you got to figure it out how to survive, win, and adapt to the changes that are out there, and still be able to sell your music and still be able to build a connection with the fans. You know, Prince, he does it. You know what I mean? Prince was, right. You know, he did a thing where he was, you know, doing shows and selling his CDs at his shows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know, like, you got to figure it out. And, you know, and some artists, you know, they depend on the label to figure it out, and they're just not going to do that. You know, they rather move on to, if you don't sell, we're going to move on to another artist. You know, they don't have no loyalty to the artist. You know, their loyalty is to the money.
Yeah, you know? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah, that's cash in their pocket. If they ain't got putting that thing, if you ain't putting cash in their pocket, they gonna turn on you on a dime. That's real.
In a minute,
that's
you
real.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I say to that. You know, it's out there. If you're gonna do this, you know, and you're serious about profession and career, then you got to understand your market and what you're up against. You know what I mean? And you got to understand how to move within that and make yourself a success.
Yeah.
You know, or get another job, get another career. You know, this one ain't for you. You know what I mean?
Real talk. Toss it up Tuesday. This is the BlackHand Tuesday. Got K-Max in the motherfucking house. I got Caz from BlackHand Entertainment. One quick question before I have K-Max ask you another question.
Okay.
One email question is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, how's the relationship with 50 Cent?
Well, it's not really a relation. I mean, you know, we haven't spoken in some years. You know what I mean? Right. So, you know, I saw him once. We saw each other kind of like we did a conference in Puerto Rico, and you know, and that was in the way back. It was Power Summit Mix Show Conference, and that was like a lot of years ago. I think his first album just came out then.
Right.
And you know, they were doing something, they had us doing something, but we happened to make eye contact and, you know, nodded our heads, and that was that, you know. So I haven't basically spoke to him or even ran into him since then. I actually I saw Chris Lighty the other day though, up in Yeah, you know, and we spoke, and you know, so, you know, the relationship it ain't nothing happening. You know what I'm saying? We're just,
I feel
you know,
it is what it is, basically, huh?
You know what I mean? It is what it is. I mean, I don't have no, but if you want, you know, I don't have no bad feelings toward him. I mean, you know, he's a black man getting money right now, and that's a good thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, it definitely can't be no hate on that. As long as you're making money, moving in the right direction, it's definitely not a problem. But talk it up Tuesday.
And you ain't hurt nobody, it's all good, you know?
Yeah, exactly. For real. Max, what you got, man?
No, I got a couple of questions here. One main one, people are wondering, as far as how do you scout for BlackHand? Because I know there's a million and more indie artists out there, and a lot of rappers, obviously, in Los Angeles and New York. And, you know, every time you shake a hand or look at somebody, they're probably a rapper nowadays out in New York. So how do you scout for BlackHand? What do you look? I know it's a lot of, like, family type shit. Like, do y'all look for outside talent? Is it just we got relationships with people like in all over the country, and it's not specifically New York, you know, but you know, it's a hands-on situation with us, like, you know, basically that, you know, I don't take on more than I can devote 200% to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I like to devote 200% of my time to my artists, man. I mean, it's it's not even a game with me. I'm so hands-on that you might see me passing out CDs and putting the posters. You know what I mean? I get it in. I put that work in. So, I kind of like keep it, in a situation that I can handle and give them the proper attention to, move their careers on. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like, when I'm at a certain point in time now that once, and it's a little, volatile, because of Foxy situation, she's in and that,
Right.
she's getting ready to come out, so I'm gonna be real busy then. But
yeah.
It's not only about the talent these days. It's about commitment that I might see in an artist, the perseverance. You know what I'm saying? The work ethic. Because it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not super serious, and I don't feel that in you,
Right.
then I'm not just going to take you because that you make a good record. Because that's not all to the music business, you know what I mean? And I'm a pretty good. I think I'm a pretty good, person to our talent. You know what I mean?
Right.
Look at the 50 Cent situation. When I got him, it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I was right. You know what I mean? I guess I bet right when I was, co-manager when I took that situation on. I saw in him, like he wasn't the most lyrical rapper. You know what I mean? But his work ethic was crazy, even back then. You know what I mean? And not that he didn't have no talent. He has talent. He knew how to make records. But the most important part was his work ethic, and that he wasn't letting nothing stop him from getting to where he wanted to go. You know what I mean? And I saw that fire and that tiger in his eye. You know what I mean? It's just something I got to feel that's within that artist. You know what I'm saying? Aside from him just passing me a record.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, every time I listen to a BlackHand track, you know what I'm saying, I just got to give major props because, you know what I'm saying, y'all motherfuckers sound like y'all starving. Y'all going hard at it, you know what I mean?
Hungry, man. It's like we just starting out, We take every day like we just starting out. And let me just backtrack real quick. When I was talking about the Black Gangster soundtrack, right? It was based on a novel. I came up with an idea at the time to do this soundtrack. We had the option to do this film, and I said I wanted to introduce the hip hop generation to this writer, Donald Goins, who was a black experience writer in the 70s. And so I the hottest artists of the time. And I used actually artists from all over the country. And two artists from that area were Mac Mall and Mac Dre. Mac Dre is my, was my boy, man. That was my boy. I would tell you,
rest in peace, Mac Dre.
That's my man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's on that album also. I wanted to say that. He actually came to New York. He came to the BlackHand studio and recorded his records right there. That's my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't want to say was because he still is my guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, yeah, no doubt.
No doubt, man. I appreciate that, man, because the Bay got mad love for Mac Dre still. Rest in peace, no doubt.
Yeah, that's my boy, man. That's my boy there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Toss It Up Tuesday, Brandon in this motherfucking man. Got K-Mex. I got my other co-host back up in this bitch, Phil. Man, Philly, what's good with you, homie?
Hey, shit, man, I'm chilling. Listen to homie Caz, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what's good?
Doubt.
Hey, shit, man, I'm chilling, man. I got a quick question for you, though, before you get back into your thing and whatnot. What do you feel makes BlackHand different than any other label that's out there?
I think our history, basically, like, it's we try to move on, things outside of music. We try to keep our business straight, but we also try to, live by a certain standard of principles and stuff, principle and morals. So I think that sets us apart, from, other labels, because we're not really just motivated by, you know, money is in there, but, you know, we come from a era time when this movement began where it was based on other things, you know, like loyalty, unity, you know, brotherhood.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that kind of, you know, makes us a little different in our history. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but, you know, there was an episode of American Gangster, which is what the film is going to be based on. The film is called Inside Out. And it's about my life and my history, you know. So they had an episode on American Gangster that kind of, you know, did a documentary, and they squeezed it into an hour. But a lot of the things that came out of that was that the motivations behind what made us tick, you know what I'm saying? And I think that when that is watched and taken into context, you know, you see that it was all factual, and it was based on, you know, documented stuff. And, you know, our history comes from a principled history. So I think that, you know, like, what we are, when we say, like, I don't even like to use that, you know, the real thing, I mean, we are the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Mm. You know, our history is definitely the real deal, and we take life and business seriously.
No doubt, no doubt. That's what's good.
No doubt. Branded up in this motherfucker with K-Max. I know you got a question for the homie real quick before I ask a Foxy Brown question, because I got a lot of people sending me emails right now with a whole bunch of free Foxy Browns and shit like that. So go ahead, Max. Go ahead.
Free Foxy Brown.
No doubt.
Quick question: What's the next big release? Next big thing we should be looking out for from BlackHand, and where can a person copy it?
Well, our next 5 big release is going to be the Foxy Brown record. You know, like we doing it like we got like 2 albums on her actually. We got like what we call the Street album, which is the Brooklyn Don Beaver album, and right. We have the long-awaited Black Rose album. You know, so the next big release is going to be her. You know what I mean? Literally her big release from prison and the release of her record. You know, so that's the next big release. Foxy Brown coming up out of there, April 19th. You know what I mean?
No. Where can we cop that? Where are we going to be able to cop the next album?
It's going to be in stores all over the place. It's going to be on the stores all over the place, on the internet, you know, Amazon, iTunes. It's going to be out there. You know, it's going to be readily available. And we kind of like pushed the record back. It was a business decision on our part to push her record back. You know, because she wanted to be out to promote it. You know what I mean? She said, like, you know, I think that, you know, again, that she comes from now, you know, after being in the major trenches, she understands now how important it is to be about your own stuff. You know what I mean? So she said, I want to be out there. You know, this is my first experience doing this independent thing, and I want to be out there and work it like I'm supposed to work it. You know, unfortunately, she had the opportunity to record the records before she went in. A lot of records. Unfortunately, her incarceration was a surprise. And we didn't get an opportunity to shoot the videos for it. So there are no videos to this record, no visuals, and she wants to be out to do it. She didn't have time to do a photo shoot for this album, you know, a serious one, you know, for the campaign, for the entire campaign. So she wants to be out to do that. It just makes sense, you know, and again, nobody can promote you better than you can promote yourself.
Of course.
No doubt.
Speaking of the promotional tip, when we get when Foxy gets out, we'd be more than willing to do a release party for it here on Vintage Music Mystery Radio, play the whole album, have it around here. I mean, can we set something like that up? I know the fans will love that.
Yeah, we can set it up. We doing everything now. Probably be in the Bay Area. We going on. When she comes out, we got a bus. You know what I mean? When she comes out, we got a tour bus that we ready in right now. They're doing all of the logistics of it, and you know, we're going to be all over the country. She said she want to go hard, so we going hard. You know, we're going to be in that bus. We're on the road.
Y'all heard it here from Caz. Y'all heard it here. Foxy Brown. Record release party is going down. Major promotion as soon as she step out of the joint. You know what I mean? And one of the questions one of these people had, aside from, you know, the hundreds of free Foxy Brown emails that I'm getting right about now, is but one question is how she doing, and then the next question is, I mean, it's kind of like you touched on it a little bit, the fact that she hasn't really had no chance to do any major promotion and shit like that. Is she gonna be quickly getting to work to shoot a video and shit like that?
Yeah, well, she's doing fine. You know, there was a motion put in recently by her lawyer because you know she has a hearing aid that she uses, and
right.
It's a cochlear implant. You know, and
okay.
It has to be. Actually she got it. The operation took place in California, in Los Angeles, and she needs to get her earpiece programmed. It's because it's a delicate piece of machinery, and you know it needs to be programmed. So she had tried to put in a motion to get that done, and the only way that she can get that done would be to travel because it is an implant, and you can't separate the implant from her.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they denied it, but she was fine with that. But other than that, you know that she's good and great spirits. Actually she told me so. I'm like, at her, she said, I can do the rest of this 90 days standing on my head. You know what I mean? Just get everything ready for me when I come out. That's all. You just get everything ready. I'm ready to go. And we building this new site for her also. Called the FoxyBrownDiary.com. They doing that up. That's going to be crazy. It's going to be a very unique site, man, that fans could do a lot of participation in. She's going to be answering people's questions live over that site. She's going to do a lot of visuals, it's going to be a lot of stuff going on with that. Also, I think she's scheduled on her, when she comes out of that, she's walking out, I think Tyra Banks is going to have her on her show live, so coming out the door, we coming out that door, I'm picking her up. We're going from Rikers Island Prison, straight to the studio. She's going to record a couple of new records for the album.
Right.
She's going to take a quick moment, not a whole lot. She's going to take a day with her mother and her brothers and stuff, just to, and get us a couple of good meals. And that Sunday, because she gets released on a Friday, that Sunday she's going to, be at a couple of release parties. And that Monday is back to work, full steam ahead, and we're going to get on the bus. I should have that itinerary, I think, next week when we start the bus trip. But, she will be probably in New York probably about 7 to 10 days, just taking care of some things, that need to be taken care of with the labels and with VH1. She's also getting ready to do a reality show, but not in the sense of of a Bobby Brown, being Bobby, none of that. You know what I mean? Her
right.
Reality show is going to be, you're going to see what she's doing for the time she walks out, on through, the bus trip, the touring and all that stuff. So her is just going to be about what she does, the Foxy Brown Diary. You know what I'm saying? The Diary of Foxy Brown. Excuse me. The Foxy Brown Diary is FoxyBrownDiary.com, and the VH1 show should be the Diary of Foxy Brown. And it's just going to document her from the time she gets out, what she's going through, how she's getting back in it, you know what I mean? Where she do her cover shots for magazines. I mean, just everything about her as an artist, coming back up. Because basically this album is going to be the first album she's recorded since getting her hearing back. That's the street version and the Black Rose album. Like she recorded some of those songs, like when she was at Def Jam under Jay-Z. But she has to do a whole bunch of other songs for that album because she has been through a whole new emotional experience, with this whole criminal justice thing. So she wants to put that in some of her music, that will go on her albums. So we going to work and we going in hard. Yeah,
it was one question that while you was talking, there was one question that popped up from the email. Is that reality show going to be a VH1 type of thing, or is that something that's going to be submitted?
It's VH1. Yep. It's a show. It's VH1.
Okay.
The president is actually, and this is just real talk. The president of VH1. I'm taking him Thursday to go visit us so we can kind of like analyze the situation, and it's going to be because they want to start filming her. Like I said, the show is going to be about her activities coming out of prison, you know, and going into what she does, her profession. You know what I mean? Making music, you know, touring and everything associated with it. You know, with the making of the music.
Yeah, you just made a handful of people hella happy right about now, homie. So, you know what I'm saying? They looking forward to that.
Yeah, you know it's going down. Yeah, it's definitely going down.
That was good. Toss It Up Tuesday. This is the BlackHand Tuesday, branded up in this motherfucker with K-Max Philly, Caz from BlackHand Entertainment, the front runner doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? We're going, before we do this last little segment, because, you know what I'm saying, we got a lot of people just want some inspirational type things and shit like that. So I'm gonna bang out another BlackHand joint. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bang that. You know, I'm out here in the Bay Area, but you know what I'm saying, the East Coast definitely took over the night. You know what I mean? Banging ass tracks all through the night. You know what I'm saying? BlackHand is in the motherfucking house for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Doing the big Toss It Up Tuesdays. Got the homie K, got the home co-host Philly. You know what I'm saying? Got Caz from BlackHand Entertainment and shit, doing it big. And, you know what I'm saying? Hey, before I even get into these, final questions that we all gonna roll through and shit, I just wanna say, man, just, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, y'all motherfuckers out there in the East Coast, you know what I'm saying, BlackHand, hella people out there give a motherfucker like me on the West Coast inspiration, just for the simple fact that I could tell from the music you spit, from y'all peoples and shit like that or whatever, y'all grinding hard just like we are, trying to do it big. And just hearing, you know, your peers, you know what I'm saying, just come out the gate with, you know, spitting fire music, you know what I'm saying, that definitely gives a motherfucker motivation. So, you know what I'm saying, props for what you're doing out there, man. You got some fans out here and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad we can do, you know, we can make people feel that way, you know what I mean? Yeah. We definitely get inspired when we hear stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's inspiration.
Oh, yeah. You know it's all mad love out here. Max, what's your question for the homie real quick?
Honestly, man, I think we ran through a lot of things. I'm going to let y'all cover any more questions you got. I'm just, you know, first and foremost, I want to thank BlackHand for coming on both times. And you're right, like, when I hear the music, I mean, we're from New York and we live in L.A. right now, whatever, and we just been following the BlackHand movement from Graf's mixtapes, you know, since he started doing the mixtapes back in the day. Y'all were doing the BlackHand show on XM. And it's just, it's a continuous, consistent movement, which is something you don't see from a lot of indie cats. You know what I mean? A lot of crews for like a couple of years, and all of a sudden they're doing diss songs about each other. All of a sudden they're not a real, you know what I mean? It seems like they're more in it as business and then family. And with BlackHand and Mystery Entertainment, it seems like we family and then business. You know what I mean? So it seems like that's what it is. And I have the utmost respect for the way they conduct business. And I mean, we definitely got to do a collabo track, Mystery Entertainment, BlackHand Entertainment. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no doubt. We can make that happen for sure. You know, yeah, definitely.
That'll be ill. Philly, I know you got a question for the homie real quick, right?
Yeah, actually, this is a question I got a lot when I was promoting the show, letting people know that we were going to have you on and everything like that. One question that everybody asked me through the emails and the MySpace and whatnot was, how did Foxy Brown end up on BlackHand Entertainment? Because a lot of people are like, oh, she was on Def Jam, how she ended up on BlackHand. How did you make that whole deal happen?
Well, actually, Foxy sought me out. You know, I started as a promoter, and actually I did Foxy Brown and Jay-Z when they did that first record. I did a show with them back when they had that record together, Ain't No Nigga. You know what I mean? So, you know, and during the course of that time, you know, I was cool with them because I was promoting shows, and I used to, you know, just give them work, actually, you know, when I was doing shows anywhere, you know, in the country. And so I got close. I was always close with, you know, Jay-Z, everybody, you know, the whole crew, you know, her manager, Don Pooh, you know, we were all just, you know, real good friends. So, in fact, her cousin, and he came from the same projects I came from. So we always had some kind of ties. So I think when Foxy, after she lost her hearing, you know, she just at a certain point, you know, became, you know, both humble because of the event and a little more focused, but she was still having, you know, these other problems that she was engaging in, you know, with the criminal justice system. And I think that she was trying to seek out somebody that could understand, you know, what she was going through and kind of help her get through it, you know. So she sought me out, you know, basically. And when we met, you know, she called me on the phone one day, and she said, "This is I said, Foxy who?" She said, "Foxy Brown." I said, "What's up, baby girl?" You know. And she told me she wanted to have a sit down with me, and basically we sat down, and you know, like we knew each other already, so you know, she put, you know, her situation on, you know, on the table, and you know, I felt that I could, you know, bring something to the table for her that would help her career along, and you know, we kind of, you know, gelled pretty good together, you know, at that moment, and we figured we can do good business, you know what I mean? And again, with the other ties that we had, you know, it was more like, felt like a family thing and a family fit, you know. So after that point, you know, we became partners, so to speak, you know, and this is what we're doing right now.
That's what's good. That's what's good. And another question that I had that a lot of people were sending me is, when can be, like, around what time can we be expecting that Foxy Brown album?
Well, they tentatively scheduled it for May, but I figure it'll probably be like June, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, tentatively they scheduled it for May. She gets out April 19th. It's just going to depend on how fast, you know, we get everything that she needs and wants on that album and the video shot.
No doubt. No doubt. Good
luck, man. So that means y'all got to make sure y'all keep checking with BlackHand, keep checking with Foxy when she gets out. Keep checking for BlackHand, period. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got the MySpaces, so you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Charles. Hit them up one time with the MySpace, homie.
Yeah, it's, you know, the myspace.com / BlackHand Caz, myspace.com / Graph BlackHand, myspace.com / Prince the Pistolier, myspace.com / Fox Brown Music.
There you go.
And
there you go.
Most important, get to that other site. It's going to be 2 of them that's going up, and it's going to be very interactive, and it'll be the Foxy Brown Diary, and it will be BlackHandUncut.com.
There you go. Y'all heard it here first, you know what I mean? So definitely, man, I appreciate the fact that you came in and hung out with us for a good hour and a half strong, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we got a lot of emailers and a lot of people in the chat room, and we got a lot of people that's just, you know what I'm saying, y'all can just, you know, hold back and stuff like that. If y'all got more questions, these motherfuckers, man, BlackHand, they gonna be back, you know what I'm saying? We had them, about 2-3 weeks ago or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? They gonna be, this is their home now, so they gonna be here for sure to promote their things and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I definitely want to say, you know what I'm saying, thanks a lot for coming in and doing your thing like you did, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people, fans out here in the Bay, Midwest, you know what I'm saying, in your hometown, you know what I'm saying? We love you out there, so,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm honored to be here, and I want to just say, imparting right now, some parting words is that, you know, and I think that if people just check our, you know, history, our documentaries that's out there, you know, you'll see just where we came from and where we at today, and, you know, and we're going to get where we want to go. And I just want to say, you know, if you can conceive it and really believe it, you can achieve it.
There you go. That's what's good, man. I definitely appreciate everything, man. I definitely appreciate it, man. And like I said, when Foxy gets out, and even beforehand, man, if you know what I'm saying, if you got anything new that you be like, oh yeah, let me just go ahead and jump on the Vintage Radio, Mystery Radio, you know what I'm saying, just come on board, man. This is your home, homie. For sure.
Man, definitely appreciate the offer. You know what I
mean? Before you bounce, man.
Take you up on it now.
Hey, you know what? Hey, hey, like I said, man, I'm saying it live with hundreds of thousands of listeners, homie. This is your home, period.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how we do it. But yeah, before you bounce, man, can you do a drop for the fam real quick for the radio show?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could just go ahead and roll off. This is Caz BlackHand Entertainment.
This is Caz, the CNC Commander-in-Chief of BlackHand Entertainment. You know what it is? BlackHand's a label, BlackHand's a gang, and I'm here at Vintage Radio. What's good?
That's good shit, homie, man. Definitely appreciate it, dog, for real.
All right, cool. All right.
Keep it 100, homie. We got you, you know what I'm saying? Get at us anytime. You know we got you.
Okay, for sure. All right, now, one. All right,
one.
Real, Caz.
Appreciate it.
All right,
you know what I'm saying? Cool ass dude, man. Cool ass dude, man. Good ass little show, man. Max, Philly, man. Y'all, hey, good shit. Good shit. Overall, man, this was bomb ass. So I appreciate the fact that you came in, Max, did your thing. You know what I mean? Doing a big tonight. Big. East Coast.
Yeah, man.
A lot of East Coast motherfuckers in the house, man. East Coast is definitely in the damn house tonight, for real.
Man, because you know how we do. You know how we do.
Man.
You know the East Coast loves vintage music radio now. Come on now.
Hey, you know, and you know what? That's what's good. You feel what I mean? Definitely appreciate it. Max.
Yes, sir.
Man, you the man, Max. That's all I can say, homie. You the man.
Yeah, man. You know, I've been talking to Caz on and off over, for a while now, and it's definitely a good outlet for us. So they're real dudes, man. That's the one thing that stands out to me about some of the dudes we been fucking with here, especially BlackHand. They, get back to you in a couple minutes. Always return the phone calls, and I knew from the get-go they was real dudes. When I spoke to Graf, when I spoke to Caz, they was like, yeah, we down, and I knew it wasn't like hopefully they'll come. I knew, I knew for sure they was gonna come through, and that's why I have a lot of respect for their movement and for what they're doing, because they're not dudes that talk it, they live it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So BlackHand always got a spy on Vintage Music Radio / Mystery Radio. Oh, come on, y'all heard of here, people? We gonna have Foxy Brown right out of the pen, boy, right out. Come here, you know what I'm saying? Doing the new album and doing an interview with us. So that's big, man. That's real big. Shout out to the whole BlackHand movement.
Right out of the pen, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, it can't get no bigger than Foxy, you know what I mean? I mean, shit, she's been in the game for a minute, you know what I'm saying, messing with Jay-Z's and, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing and shit like that. So, yeah, that's a, you know what I'm saying, that's major love that, you know what I'm saying, we can get that motherfucker to get Foxy to come on for us and shit. So that's definitely love and shit like that, you feel me?
Oh, it is, man.
No doubt, you know what I'm saying?
That's a big name.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, as soon as people heard, ooh, Caz, Foxy Brown, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The second I had started promoting the show, actually, and letting them know that Caz was going to be on and everything, that's the first thing people hit me with is, what's up with Foxy Brown? She's on BlackHand. When can we expect the album? When's she getting out of jail? And then, y'all pretty much covered it with the whole video shoot, because that was another question I was going to ask, because they wanted to know if she was going to be shooting a video and whatnot. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to copping that album in either May or June, man. Foxy Brown, man, I've been a fan for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be an honor to have her on the show just like it was Caz tonight, you feel me?
No doubt, you know what I'm saying? Definitely hard at it.
Nexxlegacy.